call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order. It is January 14th, 2025. Could I have the roll call, please?
Knutson.
Here.
Vogelsang.
Here.
Hoon.
Here.
Peterson. Goodrich.
Here.
All council members except Councilmember Peterson are present, as is the mayor, the city clerk, the city attorney, the city administrator, and several other staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. I do believe we have an amendment that we need to add to this.
Yeah, this is change order number 5 for the 5th Street project. This was inadvertently left off. It is not a payment. We're not making any payments on this change order. It's just so we can make sure the project keeps going forward and not wait for another meeting for this item. Payment wouldn't be till next meeting, so we're not approving any change that requires a payment at this time.
Excellent. Thank you for that overview. All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So move.
Moved by Nguyen. Could I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. All in favor, please say aye.
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 The amended agenda is approved. Okay, on to the next item. I have 2 proclamations to read this evening. The first is for National Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month. Whereas human trafficking is the use of force, fraud, or coercion to compel a person into commit commercial sex acts or labor services against their will. Exploitation of a minor for commercial sex is human trafficking, regardless of whether any form of force, fraud, or coercion is used. And there is no such thing as child prostitution. And whereas Iowa has seen a concerning rise in labor trafficking cases, particularly among immigrant children from Central America, who are often coerced into exploitive agricultural and factory work under the pretense of opportunity, a trend mirrored in other rural communities across the nation. Sadly, sexual exploitation often goes hand in hand with labor trafficking, which also involves illegal arms and drug trafficking in Iowa. And whereas increased advocacy and resources, there remains a stark gap between the number of survivors receiving assistance and the successful prosecution of perpetrators, with fewer than 5% of reported trafficking cases in the Midwest resulting in criminal convictions in 2023. And whereas despite increased awareness and efforts, human trafficking continues to be underreported and often goes undetected, with the true extent likely underestimated due to its clandestine nature, the ability to hide it in rural areas, and the reluctance of victims to come forward. Studies suggest that only about 1% of trafficking victims are identified. And whereas every business, community organization, family, and individual can make a difference by working to protect the vulnerable within their sphere of influence, by addressing the problem of internet sex trafficking and exploitation, especially that targeting Iowa's children. Nationwide, we have moved away from play-based to a screen-based childhood. 1 in 5 youth ages 10 to 17 report being approached by an online predator. Note that these are only the numbers reported. In 2023, the social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube flagged millions of pieces of child sexual abuse material, which were referred to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for further investigations. U.S. teens report spending an average of 9 hours a day online, excluding homework time. And whereas the city of Coralville joins Chains Interrupted in their dedication to providing community outreach and education, legislative advocacy, training, promotion of services to survivors of human trafficking, and collaboration with law enforcement. Now therefore I, Megan Foster, Mayor of Coralville, do hereby proclaim January 2025 to be Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month, and encourage all of our citizens to become more informed on this growing problem, to be vigilant and report suspicious activity, and to work towards solutions to end trafficking in all forms in our community. For assistance with this, reach out to Chains Interrupted at 319-364-0222. If you see something that doesn't look right, reach out to the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888. Signed on this 14th day of January 2025, Megan Foster, Mayor. Okay, and I believe we have some folks here to receive this proclamation. Would you like to step up to the mic and say a few words?
Thank you so much. I am Teresa Davidson, the CEO of Chains Interrupted, and I have with me members of Chains Interrupted Volunteers, COO, Board of Directors. So thank you so much. It's so difficult to imagine that human trafficking exists in Iowa communities, but it does. Take the case of Layla, name changed for privacy purposes. She's a 16-year-old girl who got away from the trafficker that brought her to Iowa City from another state. She was found hiding in a business in Cedar Rapids. Layla didn't know who to trust and she was too scared to be forthcoming about her situation. Fortunately, this business had taken training from Chains Interrupted, and they recognized the signs of human trafficking. From the training, they also knew how to talk with the teen in a way that didn't scare her off or traumatize her further. They called Chains Interrupted to talk them through the next steps, and we are happy to report the girl is safe and back with her family in the state that she came from. Sadly, Layla is just one of many victimized by this crime. So thank you, Mayor Foster and the City Council of Coralville, law enforcement, educators, and community leaders for your commitment to raising awareness and taking action to combat human trafficking in our community. If you, your friends, family, workplace, church, school, or community group are interested in any of our 18 specialized trainings, please contact us at info@chainsinterrupted.com.
All right, thank you so much. Would you like to grab a photo real quick? Okay, excellent. Excellent, thank you. You bet, you bet. Thank you for coming. Okay, and our next proclamation is for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Whereas Dr. King's unwavering commitment to nonviolent activism and his powerful words continue to resonate, urging us to embrace diversity, foster inclusion, and strive for a world free from discrimination and prejudice. And whereas his courageous leadership in the face of adversity and his tireless efforts to dismantle systemic barriers have paved the way for progress towards a more equitable society, encouraging us to uphold the fundamental principles of equality, freedom, and dignity for every person. And whereas on this day, we honor the enduring legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by recognizing the importance of service, compassion, and community engagement in effecting positive change, and by reaffirming our commitment to building a future where justice and opportunity are accessible to all. And whereas the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday and Service Act, signed into law in 1994, established Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a national day of service, encouraging individuals of all backgrounds to unite in service to their communities and embody the spirit of compassion and solidarity that Dr. King exemplified throughout his life. And whereas Dr. King's legacy of service underscores the importance of collective action in addressing societal challenges and fostering a culture of empathy, kindness, and empowerment within our communities. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Megan Foster, Mayor of the City of Coralville, do join governments across the country to proclaim January 20th, 2025 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and urge all people to commemorate this day by engaging in acts of service, promoting equality and justice, and reflecting on Dr. King's teachings to further the cause of peace, unity, and understanding among all people. Signed on this 14th day of January 2025, Megan Foster, Mayor. Okay, and I don't believe we have anyone here to receive this one, so we will move on to our next agenda item, which are our community comments. And this is a time for community members to speak to us about items that aren't on the agenda or items that are on the agenda but are not subject to a public hearing. Each speaker will have 5 minutes, and we do reserve the right to adjust both the individual comment time and the overall comment time based on the number of speakers or any accommodations that a speaker might need. So do we have anyone that would like to address us this evening on a topic? Okay. We will move on then to our next agenda item. We have a public hearing for Well 16 improvements. This project will construct a new Silurian drinking water well located south of Oakdale Boulevard and east of Timber Lane, and it will construct a new raw water main from Well 16 west on Oakdale Boulevard and south on 12th Avenue to connect with existing servicing wells 9 and 10. And bids for this are due on January 30th, 2025. With that, I'll open the public hearing on this item. Do we have anyone that would like to speak to us on this? Okay, do we have any written comments? No written comments. Okay, awesome. Close the public hearing, and we will consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the plans, specifications, estimate of cost and form of contract, reordering bids, resetting a date for the receiving of bids, and directing a reposting of the bid letting, all for the Well 16 improvements. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Wynn. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay. Could I have the roll call, please?
Vogelzang. Vogelzang.
Yes.
Kuhn.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Next item, Wells 9 and 10 standby generator improvements. This would replace the existing standby generator and automatic transfer switch located at the northwest corner of Holiday Road and 12th Avenue. And this provides emergency power for Wells 9 and 10. It would install a new variable frequency drive for Well 10. And the public hearing on this item will be January 28th, 2025. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution setting a public hearing on the plans, specifications, estimate of cost, and form of contract for the Wells 9 and 10 standby generator improvements. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Vogelzang, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. Any questions or discussion on this item?
Not a big deal, but it's actually on the northeast corner
Okay.
instead of the northwest.
Thank you for that correction. Appreciate it. Anything else? Okay, could I have the roll call, please?
Kuhn.
Aye.
Goodrich. Aye. Knutson.
Aye.
Vogelzang.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Next item, Lot 1 and Outlot A, Veritas First Edition. This amendment changes this 17 acres near the northwest corner of Jones Boulevard and Merchant Street to low-density residential, and will allow the development of 89 single-family detached and attached dwelling units. Could I have the ordinance read, please?
Ordinance number 2025-1001, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan to reflect certain property legally described as Lot 1 and Outlot A, Veritas First Edition, Coralville, Johnson County, Iowa, to be designated as low-density residential use in place of medium-density residential use. This ordinance introduced for second consideration by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any questions, comments, or discussion? Okay, did you have a question?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just wondering if, moving from medium density to low density, that take away like the, what do you call it, like, apartment complex? Does the price point for the duplex comparable to, just to make it still so that we have like a variety of different housing with different price and everything? How does that compare when we move from medium density to low density?
Well, moving from medium density to low density does remove the ability to build vertical apartment complexes, but from a single-family attached or detached standpoint, a duplex has a shared wall, so typically those construction costs are less
Okay.
than what you would find with a single-family detached unit.
Are we losing out on any number moving from one density to the other, like as far as units wide
Yeah,
or
I mean,
accommodation for families?
In this case, I believe the average density is
2, 3, yeah.
5.23, so it's less than one dwelling unit per acre difference between the low density and what the minimum threshold would be for a medium density residential designation. But a medium density designation would allow for up to 16 dwelling units per acre on the high end.
Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, you bet. Any other questions? Oh, actually, no, no, sorry, I apologize. Actually, if, we can, if you have a comment, we can add that after the consent agenda. But the public comment time is closed, so. All right, yeah, no problem. Any other questions or comments before we vote? Okay, could I have the roll call, please?
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Vogelzang.
Aye.
Kuhn.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes. Next item, disposal of property. The city will enter into a proposed agreement whereby IRL Parkview will purchase the property from the city in exchange for constructing a multifamily residential project as approved in the PUDB site plan for the property. And the public hearing for this will be on January 28th, 2025. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution of intent to dispose of an interest in real property, that property being legally described as Lot 3, IRL Parkview Plat 3, Coralville, Iowa. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Vogelzang. Any questions or comments on this item?
Yeah, this is the third building out of 4 that for the IRL Parkview development that would be built by the current developer. There are 2 more lots that are could be 55 and older to the east of these, but this is right across the street from the second building on the same. They won't need to build much road to make this one work.
I think we saw the plans for this, didn't we?
Yeah, we already approved the PUDB site plan.
Yeah.
This is just to clear the title so we can do the closing in first week of February.
Fantastic. Need more people down there.
Any other questions on this? Okay, could I have the roll call, please?
Knutson.
Aye.
Vogelzang.
Aye.
Kuhn.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Next item, we have our board and commission appointments. So these are, we have several new appointments in this batch, and we also have several reappointments. The applications were available to view, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that takes the time to serve on these boards and commissions, and really appreciate all those new folks that sent the applications in, and of course the folks that have, continue to have a desire to serve, and would encourage the community to just keep an eye on those notifications. They usually come at the end of the year. And if you're interested in getting involved, it's a really fantastic way to get involved with some of the things that are happening in the community. And I would just note that these terms expire on December 31st of the year that is listed for their term of service. So with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the recommendations for the boards and commissions.
So moved.
Moved by Goodrich. Could I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The appointments are approved. Excellent. Okay. And finally, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as amended.
Madam Mayor, I would like to ask council to consider a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented A to double A.
Moved by Nguyen. Could I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. Could I have the roll call, please?
Vogelzang,
Aye.
Kuhn,
Aye.
Goodrich, Knutson,
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Okay, now, would you like to hop up and give us your name and tell us a little bit about why you're here?
Sure, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tall. My name is Gina Landau, and I'm here for the Veritas, mainly because the first time you had this vote, I sent the president of our company to represent instead of myself. I had a meeting instead somewhere else. So I just wanted to introduce myself because hopefully in future projects that Navigate Homes submits, you're stuck with me instead of Dave. So just wanted to say hi, Gina Landau.
Excellent. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for introducing yourself. We appreciate that very much. Okay, wonderful. Next item, we have our city administrator's report.
Yeah, just a couple things, Mayor. First of all, would just like to remind the public that we are in the budget cycle right now, and there's a lot of discussion at the legislative level about property taxes and budgets in general, and so would just ask that if they have questions, feel free to ask a council member, the mayor, or myself, because we are more than welcome. This is the time when we go through budgets, and as Rich knows, we've encouraged our business community as part of our weekly lunches to get involved and understand these things, and we want the regular citizen to understand that as well. So please reach out to us if you have questions as we're going through this process, or if you have suggestions. This is the time of year when if you have suggestions of something you'd like us to do or think about, now is the time, because typically those things take money, and if we don't have it in the budget, it's harder to do. So encourage people to reach out to us on that. I'd just like to congratulate the Iowa Heartlanders, Coralville's hockey team, because they are on a roll right now, and they are second in their division. And that is a great thing, and they take the top 4 to the playoffs, and right now we've got a strong second place in the division, so they are doing a great job. They are doing so many things around the community as well, and being involved in the community, and there's just been some really cool stories recently about the things they've done for kids in our community as well as other residents. So thank them for what they're doing and congratulate them on a great season.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Mayor's report, I just have a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to note with the proclamation that I read at the beginning of the meeting for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, there will be a public reading of the I Have a Dream speech at the Coralville Public Library on Monday. That starts at 5:30 p.m. And this is something that I have participated in almost every year since I've been on the council. There were a couple of years when we had to pause it for a variety of reasons, but it really is extremely special to read that speech on MLK Day and to hear those words and to reflect on those words. So I would encourage folks to check that out on Monday. In addition to that, there is a nonprofit volunteer fair from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. And that would be, there will be several nonprofits that will be at that volunteer fair, and they are going to be sharing any volunteer opportunities that they have. So again, if you're looking for a way to give back, if you're looking for a way to get more involved, there'll be some great organizations there. that you can chat with and find out what sort of help they need. In addition to that, I believe we have some water fights coming up, or was that last weekend?
Nope, it is the 25th.
The 25th,
At,
okay.
starting at 11 o'clock in the outdoor pool parking lot. So that'll run from about 3 to 4. Encourage, anyone is welcome to come and watch those water fights.
Yeah, that's always a really fun event. It's, it's one of those things, it's hard to describe, you just kind of have to see it. But it's a lot of fun, and there's usually a lot of fire departments from all over the state that come and visit and participate. So if you are around, be sure to check that out. And that is all I have this evening.
Mayor, this is their 49th year.
You're kidding,
Yeah.
what?
49th year of
49,
hosting them,
kidding.
yes. So,
There's
Mi-
other states.
yeah.
Other states
Yeah,
too?
they-
49 years ago, they decided to do something different because everybody had them in the summertime, and so they decided to do it in the wintertime.
Why not?
So,
Excellent. Well, how about that? And then there'll be a big anniversary next year.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
maybe the council can participate
Oh.
next year.
Maybe. That would be something to see. That would be something to see.
Yeah, it
Awesome.
sure would.
All I say is worth the call. So come
Yeah,
out
it
and
is.
watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, city attorney's report.
I have nothing.
Okay, let's move on to committee and council members' report. We'll start down here with Councilmember Knudsen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll just say that we'll need a lot more global warming if you want me to participate in that. Not something I'm rooting for, however. I don't have anything else.
Okay, awesome. Councilmember Vogelzang.
I have nothing.
Okay, Councilmember Nguyen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to, tack on to what you said earlier about MLK Day on January 20th. And so this coming Friday, January 17th, our rec center is hosting, a fun event for grade 5th to 8th. There will be free pizza provided by Metronet. There will be, a large mural activities. There will be community services project, and then video game tournament. So if you have a kid that is in that grade group, encourage them to go to the rec center. I know that my son is looking forward to go over there with his friend and participate. So Friday, January 17, 4 to 6 at the rec center. And that's all I have.
Excellent, making a note of that. For mine,
You should
not for me, for
you
my
should
son.
send Jude over
Yes, I didn't know about that. Awesome, thank you for sharing. And then finally, Councilmember Goodrich.
Thank you. Just to piggyback off that, I noticed on the Coralville website, up at the top, if you tap in, you'll see a place where you can tap on See and Do. There's many things listed of fun activities that you can do throughout these cold winter months. The volunteering is great, and then also all the activities throughout the community. So get out there and have some fun. Thanks.
Excellent, thank you very much. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Moved by Nguyen, could I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vogelzang. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.